Greetings, Professor. My name is Min. Today I will present about a case study of CBI Holdings Company. Now moving on to the first question. Well, the primary audit objectives for accounts payable are completeness, validity, compliance, and disclosure. So completeness here indicates that there should be no insistence of further materials for accounts payable. In this sense, it is the mission of auditors to inspect and verify that all amounts owed to suppliers or vendors must be recognized accurately and reflected in financial statement. Now moving on to the second part of the question, I would say yes, if only the auditors from Ernst & Young were diligent and had properly conducted the audit procedure, it would be possible for them to uncover CBI's accounting gimmicks. So as can be revealed from CBI's case, auditors are likely subject to undue influence from the client management, which threaten the independent nature of audit. And one of the examples why the audit was not properly conducted was that auditors they failed to conduct a timely investigation on reasons why a new CFO of CBI resigned after 8 days working due to several $millions of reaccounting. Now, moving on to the second question. I would say yes, auditors should have used the confirmation in auditing CBI's year-end accounts payable, especially when inspecting the unrecorded liabilities. This is because confirmation would have provided additional assurance regarding the accuracy and completeness of account payable balance by directly obtaining information from the vendors. Now, for the second part of the question, essentially when auditing the client's accounts payable, the confirmation procedures are not required. So the confirmation for the accounts payable are used for obtaining direct evidence from third parties about the accuracy and completeness of accounts payable. But the confirmation procedure for accounts receivable, they are required and they generally look for evidence to support the assistance, valuation, and allocation or timing. It is often used to confirm the amounts owed to the company by its customer. And when we compare those two, the confirmation procedures for accounts payable are generally less rigorous and focus primarily on whether the payables completely recognize the allocation or not. Now, for the third question, the auditors they have a professional responsibility to communicate a significant matters discovered to the appropriate level of management, and the failure to disclose such a crucial oversight to CBI management could be seen as a violation of professional ethics and auditing standards. Moving on to the second part, I believe there is a term called subsequent discovery of facts in auditing. It suggests that the auditor has a responsibility to inform parties who might be relying on previous audit information if that information would materially impact a previous audit report. So in this case, as the client was privately held, those parties would have included the company management and the major shareholder. Now moving on to the fourth question. The decision to remove a team member should not be influenced by client's preference or attempts to suppress the inquiries. It is reasonable that they can seek a change in audit team members if they believe that some certain members are not qualified to perform the audit. But in the case of CBI, it is not reasonable for a management to insist that an audit member should be removed just because they are inquisitive. Now moving on to the fifth question, also the last question. There are four circumstances overall. The first one is lack of expertise or resources. So if the audit firm they lacks of necessary expertise, experience, or resources to perform a high-risk engagement, it may choose not to accept the engagement. So performing the audits beyond the firm's capabilities can lead to increase the audit risk and potential errors. The second circumstance is regarding the high probability of material misstatements. So if the audit firm identifies significant risk and indication of potential material misstatements in the client financial statement, it may decide not to take on the engagement to avoid associating with potentially misleading information. The third one is legal or ethical consideration. So if the client business practice or activities raise legal or ethical concerns that conflict with the audit firm's professional standards or principle, the audit firm they can choose not to accept the engagement to avoid association with such practice. The last one would be potential impairment of independence. So if there are circumstances that could impair the audit firm's independence, such as significant financial or personal relationship with the client, the firm may decline the engagement to maintain their objectivity and impartiality. So overall, I would say the decision to accept or refuse or decline a high-risk engagement should be made based on careful evaluation of the risk involved and the firm's ability to perform the audit. So that is the end of my presentation, and thank you so much for listening, Professor.